The people have spoken. You hate intros. So here's an intro to tell you that I'm gonna skip the intro. Well, that didn't work. Hey y'all, so it's done. I got this baby back together, this 1963 Corvette, and it sounds pretty good. I only had to do a few things, and I learned some things as well. So first thing, the bridge. So originally this thing, when it came to me, had an old Japanese Taisco style bridge on it. So we replaced that. Actual Corvette bridges are like $300. It's just a little piece of rosewood with a rocking bar bridge. So what I did is let's see if I can bring it in here so you guys can see it. So what I did instead was I bought a rocking bar bridge off of All Parts, and then I took a rosewood bridge that I had for one of my old arch tops, cut it, sanded it down, and it seems to be working. We're getting some pretty decent action on this guitar. So that wasn't original, so I made one of those. The pots and the switch were all scratchy, super noisy. A little bit of contact cleaner cleaned those up. We got the toggle switch working again, so that I just had to bend some of the contacts to get it to work, but works great now. There's a video with all the nerdy stuff if you want to see it. And then the only other thing is the tuners are not original, so they work great though, so I'm not going to bother with changing those right now. We're just going to go with it. So all in all, pick guard's original, everything else is original. So let's talk about the things I like about the guitar, and then we'll talk about the things I'm not crazy about. So one of the things I do like is it's the 2 pickup model, which is great. So you get these Hylotrons, which are basically half of a Filtertron. So they've got a pretty good sound. I'll do a quick sound demo of the different positions, clean and dirty, at the end of this. A lot of people don't like guitar playing in their guitar videos, which whatever. So we'll do that at the end, so you can skip to that if you want to. It's really light. This guitar is super crazy light. I really like that about it. And it's just funky and cool. It's very Les Paul Jr.-y. So it's a cool looking guitar, no doubt. And the Burns is kind of funky and cool, so I like it. It doesn't wobble a lot. So if we take a listen here, kind of gives you the Bigsby thing. It's a really stiff spring in there, but it works okay. So yeah, those are the things I like about it. Now the things I don't like about it, it has a weird balance. It doesn't balance very well, which is fine. As long as you're holding onto the neck, that's okay. Now the only other thing too is these pickups are really low output. So that's a positive or negative. I mean, you can always boost it with a boosting pedal and get something out of it. And then another thing I'm not crazy about is the Burns Vibro's arm really sticks in the way if you have it in here. So you're not going to be doing strumming and having that. So it's kind of an awkward lever, but it looks cool. So we'll keep that. Only other thing I'm not crazy about, and this is what you'll get into with vintage guitars, the frets are just really tiny on it. They're in great shape, but they're really tiny. So you're not going to be doing any shredding on this, nor should you. I mean, yeah, you can shred on it if you want to. Rory Gallagher did, right? Played a lot of slide on his, which makes sense to me now that I have one. It's a great rhythm rock guitar though. So yeah, it's not a perfect guitar, but it's very cool. It's got a lot of mojo. I think I'll keep it for a little while. It's not going to be my #1 guitar, that's for sure. I've realized I like Tellys and things like that. Stingray back there is a fantastic Music Man guitar. So yeah, I'm going to shut up. I'll do a couple of sound demos and then we'll get out of here. So thanks again to everyone who has liked and subscribed. If you haven't, please do. We just make lots of guitar lessons and guitar gear videos. I just like guitars and I want to share it with you guys. So thanks again to everyone that has subscribed so far. And yeah, let's hear this thing now. All right, let's do clean on the neck position and then we'll just work our way through. So in between, you still get the buzzing because it's single coil. They're not reversed wound back then, so you still get a pretty interesting sound. So there we go. All right, bridge position. Let's kick on the rat pedal, and we'll just start back up at the bridge and work our way back down again. This thing has actually a really good rock tone, so. Both pickups. And finally, bridge pickup. So there you go, one of Gretsch's forgotten unsung heroes of rock and roll. It's a cool guitar. I'll probably hang on to it for a little while. I don't know. It's fun to have a vintage guitar to just kind of tool around and play on. Actually gets a pretty good rock and roll tone. It's pretty tough to play. You're not going to play it fast, but that's not what usually vintage guitars are for. I have 10s on it right now. I put a set of Ernie Ball 10s on it. I think I might go up to 11s on this thing and maybe try to learn to play slide on it since I suck at slide right now. So if you can find one of these, they're a pretty good deal. It's a really cool guitar. You just don't see a lot of them. So if you see one and you can snag it, why not? So thanks again, y'all. As always, keep the comments coming. Just did a lesson last week on Carl Perkins' Dixie Fried. That's a really great one, and I got a couple other deep cuts we're going to do later on. Got some more lessons down the pike, and we'll get into some more gear. I got a really cool old silver tone guitar from 1960 that I need to pull out, and we can play around with that thing too. It's really cool. So thanks again. Don't forget, like, subscribe, comments, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.